want to break free.
Hello, this is literally Majora. You can call me Majora if you want, but my real name is Benny. And as of Tuesday night, I've gotten even sicker. I just thought I had a cold before. Now I'm worse. As a result, I'm going to be pausing while I record a lot. Isn't that fun? Yay! Content warning for this video, it's about to get depressing as hell. I'm going to put this big CW on the screen in case I think that the information or situation that I'm describing could be potentially triggering, and if you skip ahead 10 to 20 seconds every time you see the CW, you should be alright. So today's episode of How This Thing Changed My Life is something I mentioned wanting to do a week or two ago. I had talked about how Fall Out Boy changed my life, and how American Beauty, American Psycho was the thing that really got me through a horrible time in my life. I had mentioned that there was one specific video game that also helped in this period of time. So today we're talking about how Animal Crossing New Leaf changed my life. I actually saw a video really similar to this a couple weeks ago. I will link it in the cards. I don't remember the guy's name right now, but his description of what Animal Crossing means to him was eerily similar to what it means to me. So I thought that was really cool. Anyone who watches this should definitely check out his video too. So when I was a few months away from turning 17, I was outed to my parents. But instead of telling the story of that particular experience, I want to talk about what happened right afterwards. I had just gotten New Leaf for Christmas, so I'd been playing it a lot. I had a cute little village called Termina, actually, that I spent maybe a couple hours a day taking care of. But that changed completely when I was outed. I lost all of my social media accounts and any means of communicating with a lot of my online friends. I wasn't allowed to write anymore. And even though my phone and my computer themselves weren't taken away from me, I got horrible panic attacks at the thought of being on my phone in the same room as my parents, because what if they thought I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be, even when I wasn't? But what I didn't feel bad about doing in front of my parents was playing video games. I would sit still all day long and often not eat in favor of playing Animal Crossing. Yay! Eating disorder relapses. Woo! At school, I listened to American Beauty, American Psycho on my phone, and one time I even sent one of my friends an email to let them know that I was alive, which was the only thing I thought to do that didn't really scare me with the idea of my parents somehow finding out. But at home, it was Animal Crossing from the second I woke up to the second I fell asleep. I avoided playing Zelda, which was my favorite game, my favorite series of all time, for a long time, because I liked to write, and before I liked to write about Zelda. And I worried that if my parents saw me playing Zelda, all they would think about was me writing. I had a few other DS games, but I only played those when I got really bored with Animal Crossing, which was very hard for me to do. One of my favorite things was to go to the vacation island and catch as many fish and bugs as I could to make a lot of money. My villagers became my support system. They were my only friends, the only people that regarded me without some sort of look in their eyes like they knew. With a capital K, knew. Trademark. It was them that I leaned on, and they were just AIs. Knox, Bunny, Dottie, Cranston, and especially my devoted secretary, Isabel, were the people that cared about me and the people that I cared about in return. They went out of their way to make me smile when no one else would. I enjoyed listening to the soothing music that the game provided. It gave a nice atmosphere that made things feel like they could be okay. The new events and the changing seasons, buying turnips and trying to figure out when they would be the best time to sell them, it was all I could look forward to, because everything else felt meaningless and broken. There were literally no things in the outside world, well, besides American Beauty and American Psycho, that could produce an emotional response in me. Another one of my favorite features was receiving letters from your mom. In real life, my mom felt like this cold, distant, unfeeling thing. Like someone who had pretended to care about me but didn't. But in the game, I had a mom that thought about me and liked to send me things to try to make me happy. That liked to tell me little stories in her letters, however short they were, that would send me cherries because she knew I liked them, or something to put in my room because it would make me think of her. I also greatly enjoyed feeling in control of something. People with mental illnesses often feel like they lack any control of anything in their life. And for me, that's actually very true. But being able to be in control, to be in charge of something, and not abuse that power either, but just be a benevolent force that took care of a group of people. That was the most fulfilling feeling I had at that time. Going and sitting in the coffee shop with Brewster was often the highlight of my day. He was quiet and gentle. He didn't ask too many questions. He just observed, and sometimes he'd learn new things about me and remember them for later, like how I liked my coffee. I spent a lot of time getting every single fossil, and some of them twice. I loved collecting clothes. I loved collecting furniture. I loved building my house and paying off my loan. Those are normal everyday things that people in the real adult world just do without thinking about. Of course you have to have furniture. Of course you have to pay off your mortgage. Of course you have to have clothes to wear. But to me, it was such a joyful thing to get to do all of that for myself, to get to pick for myself when I didn't feel like I'd had a choice before then. And when I got really brave, I started using my 3DS as a way to read fan fiction. So I'd start the day playing Animal Crossing, and my parents would see that that was what I was doing and it was fine and acceptable, and they'd leave me alone. And then I'd press the home button, click on the little internet thing in the top bar on the bottom screen, and pull up Archive of Our Own so that I could read, because writing was something I intensely missed, sure, but reading was almost as important as writing for me, if not more. And it was all Animal Crossing that gave me access to being able to read. If you're curious, my favorite things to read at the time were Bethan, which is Benny and Ethan from My Babysitter's a Vampire, which 100% did have an influence on my name choice. Frost Iron, which is Tony and Loki from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a very interesting pairing. Of course, Spidey Flash, if you've seen any of my other videos that reference fanfiction, Spidey Flash is a big part of it. And Corey and Sean from Boy Meets World, is there an official ship name for that? Would it be Shory? Why do I feel like there's already a different ship somewhere called Shory? Whatever. But even then, I still spent hours upon hours each day playing Animal Crossing. Once things got a little better, I had to take a break from Animal Crossing because it reminded me of the negative emotions that I had felt in that time period, but when I did finally come back to it, it didn't hold any of that anymore. It only held the joy and the fulfillment that it was able to give me. I didn't associate that dark time period to it. I associated letting me live, keeping me alive to it. Oh yeah, I mentioned that my village was called Termina. my name was Majora because I hadn't picked a name yet, and I wanted something that was neutral, that wouldn't raise the attention of my parents, but was also not my birth name. So Majora it was. So, New Leaf also kind of gave me my channel name. Pretty recently I made a new character named Benny. So, one of them obviously is the only one that can be the mayor, but Benny helps out where he can. This actually went on longer than I thought it would. I figured this video would be pretty brief, but I guess not. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on Monday as soon as I know what I'm recording, or if I even will have the voice to record for Monday. Gosh, I'd hate to miss a video again.